first thing you want to do is to go to nearpod.com and you're going to log in. You can use your Google to log in, so click on sign in with Google. Use your school email, and you have multiple options here. You either can search by topics or standards, or you can create lessons that you've made from scratch using some of their templates or creating your own. Now, one thing is, if you do, let's say, make a Nearpod lesson that you really like, and you want to share it with others, whether you're at the elementary level and you want to share it across your grade level, or you're at the middle high school level and you want to share it across contents, you are more than welcome to do so by utilizing your school library. So over here on the side, you'll see, in my case, I've used Nearpod before, so I have lots of lessons right here. But you can look on the side. You can click on your lessons, your profile, talk about see all of the things you've done. You can look at your reports, which we'll go back to later. And you can also click on shared school library. And this is really important because when you create lessons, you're going to want to add them to your school library. So in order to do so, you need to add yourself to the school library. So if you type in Fredericktown, in my case, you'll need to scroll down. I'm in high school, so I'm going to add myself to the high school library. And I can share my lessons with educators throughout the school. If you're in elementary, you're going to want to add yourself to elementary. So the school library has a certain amount of storage, so if you see yourself not utilizing something, you might want to delete stuff. So there's right now currently 5 of us in the high school level that use Nearpod. So if you come back over here to Nearpod library, you can find things that are already created, either full lessons or snippets of things that you can add to a lesson. So a lesson is going to be the entire activity with different parts of the lesson. And you can either have a whole lesson already created, or you can add parts to your own lesson. So for example, here are some featured things. September 11th, it's Hispanic Heritage Month, College Savings Month, Constitution Day. You can either go by subject, grade level. If you look up here in this top corner, let's say I'm a first grade teacher and I click on first grade, then you can look and see they have right here, for example, what is an insect? And if you look and see at the top, it tells you who the title of the lesson and also who made it. So if it's Nearpod team, that means that they've created this lesson for you. You can either preview it or you can add it to your lesson and teach it. So for example, this little snippet, if I wanted to create a lesson on insects, I could add this as part of like one of my first slides that goes through, and they have things like interactive modes where you can pause the video and ask questions or do a quick little quiz, and they have all of these things already embedded for you. So you can either add this to your lesson or you can just teach this straight as is. And so we'll talk about that in a moment, but they also have related videos for you. And if there's any handouts, like video questions or transcripts, you can either have it all be interactive and all on the computer, or you can have things like those video questions to be printed off. I like to do everything in the Nearpod app because the kids, it saves it for me and it grades it for me, and I don't have to worry about a lot of papers. So this is just one example of something to add to a lesson. So let's say I'm going to go back to Nearpod, and I am going to show you one of my lessons so you can see some of the things that you can create. So here's my lesson, and I'm just going to preview it for you. but you have the option of adding just slides like these are, or you have the option of adding collaborative activities. So, for example, this is a white, like a cork board, a digital cork board, and I gave the students a political cartoon and I had them write down everything they noticed. So, right here where it says share your thoughts, this is what their screen will look like, and they can share them out and it'll show up as little post it notes. And you have the option of approving them. So, like, let's say they're going to be a little silly with it and you're like, that's not appropriate. You can make sure that you have to approve them before they're seen out by the entire class. But once the students have been approved, they all show up at once. And you can have their names be shown or not be shown. And there's all sorts of things you can do. You can have open-ended questions. You can have draw it. The students love draw it. And so it gives them an opportunity to draw something out. And then you can share them with the class. There are polls. You can include web content. There are virtual trips you can add. So this is just an example of a lesson. So let me go back to my lessons. And let's say we want to create our own lesson. So we have the option of creating a lesson from completely scratch. We can upload things like pictures, Google Slides, whatever we have. And if you pay for the premium version, you can embed it in Google Slides. But we can also explore the library. And those are those pieces that I talked about earlier. So let's say I'm going to create a lesson from scratch. And I'm just going to start out and I want to make a quick slide. So here's my slide and I'm going to do PD on Nearpod tutorial. And let's say I want to get rid of this paragraph and I'm just going to scooch this on down. Now this works just like, any Google Slides you want to make. You can add an image, you can change the background, you can add a video, you can even add a GIF. Let's add a GIF of Happy Dance. Now, these will automatically be filtered to exclude anything that's not appropriate. So that's an excellent thing. So let's say I have my Nearpod tutorial and I am ready to go. If you come over here to the side, you can add a new. This is where the magic happens. This is all of the things that you can add. And right here it has a video, like a quick little mini GIF of what it is about. So key features, you can add a slide. That's what we just did. You can add a slideshow. So it's one page, but the slideshow exists in that one page. So the students are free to interact with each piece. If you have a simple website that you can create, Sway exists as its own, and you can add that website in here. Same with PDFs. Let's say you want to add a PDF. They can read it. They can mark it up. They can do what they need to do. You can add an image. You can add an audio clip. And then you have interactive versions. You can have videos. You can add any YouTube video and it'll automatically cut out the ads and just have the video itself. You can add links to a website. You can add simulations for science. If you've ever used physics, PHET, it's math and science simulators. You can use a virtual field trip. Let's say you're doing a lesson on Romans and you want to show the Roman Colosseum. You can click on that and they can literally walk around at that site. They don't need a headset. They don't need anything. It just basically pulls in Google Earth for them. You can also add quizzes, quick quizzes, multiple choice quizzes. Draw it. That's that slide that I talked about where the kids draw something and then you can share it out with the class. They love, love, love to have their drawing shown. Fill in the blanks, memory tests where they have cards. You can do matching vocabulary here. Time to climb, which I usually save to the end. is basically like embedded quizzes or Kahoot, and then the characters they choose kind of climb up a mountain, and it depends on how well they answer the questions, how quickly, this and that. So it's basically Kahoot but embedded in this Nearpod. You have collaborative boards, like I talked about before. You can have students record. It's like Flipgrid, but it's embedded. If you remember what Flipgrid is, where they can take a video and embed their own video in there. You can do polls or open-ended questions as well. So let's say I'm going to do a virtual field trip, and I'm going to add that here. And they have already so many to choose from. Let's say I want to do it on the Great Wall of China. So I'm going to click on it here. I can preview it. And this is exactly what the kids will see. They'll see the stairs. They'll see the mountains. They'll see some shops below, and they can visit this. So there's my, so I'm going to add this. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to add a new. And I want to make a quick fill in the blank. And you can add that here. And you'll type in your words. The blank Great Wall of China. Let's see. Is one of the largest man-made structures in the world. All right. So I need to come to next, and I want to type in, oops, sorry. You have to add your letters. All right, please go to the next step. Click on words on the right to add to the bank. So I'm going to add China, and that'll be over here. And then let's do, here are my words. And then you can come over here to preview lesson. And this is what it will look like for the kids. The Great Wall of China is one of the largest man-made structures in the world. Perfect. Done. Just like that. And it grades it for them. That is the virtual reality. And if you click on this arrow right here, it takes you back to your original. So here are just some examples. I could spend so long going over each of them. Highly encourage you to explore. When you're done, you can change your lesson to what you need it to. And then let's say we're going to add a new version, and we're just going to say thank you. Just like that. And we will then save our lesson. We want to add that is social studies. And this is for all grades. And this is for social studies. Just once I'm done adding all the slides that I want, I'm going to click over here where it says save and exit. If you have an issue, you can just refresh the page and it will show up. I did have that issue a while ago. Now my lesson's here. So what do? Once you've got your lesson, you can teach it. You can either have it student paced, where the students must complete it on their own, in their own time, and you can add that to Google Classroom, or you can do a live participation, which is my favorite thing to do. So if you click on live participation, add this to the board, copy the link, add it to your Google Classroom, and have the students go to joinnearpod.com and type this code in. Now, once they've done it once, they already know how to do it. It's not too hard. I come over here to the side on the main menu and I click presentation view. And I put this window on the board. And I have this window on my teacher computer or my like Chromebook. And then as you walk around the class, I'm going to do split screen so you know what it looks like. This is what the students see on their Chromebook and what you can have on the whiteboard. And this is what will look like on your computer. So if you go over here to you click on the slide, you'll tell them, you know, in an ideal situation, once I've made a genuine lesson, I'll have some sort of slide talking about what we're looking at. And then when you have collaborative fill in the blanks, the students see this. And once they're done, you can view the answers. And you can see on your side, on your teacher side, what is on their screens. So let me show you an example of what they look like in the past. So let's say I don't have any students added in here. That's why I'm not seeing it. But right here, you would see student and teacher. And you'll click on teacher side and you can see what kids have done what. How many are they getting right? All of those fun things. So I'm going to delete this. Now, this is a version that I have taught before. So let's say you want to go back and take a look at what they did. You go to my reports. And you can click on the sessions. So in this one session here, I can look at all the answers they've given. If we had any quizzes, all the questions they got right. If we had polls, how the class answered, this, and so on and so forth. And usually it doesn't take that long. I'm just going to click out and click back in. Here you go. So I can see here that, so in my case, I don't pay for the paid version. So my free version, I have to do it in snippets if we don't get through the whole class period. So here we did half of it one day and the other half on another day. And so I can see right here, they participated in these questions. And if I want to take a look on the collaborative board, let's see, on my draw it, I can see all of the drawings that the students did and all of their answers. I can see if they did the poll, how they answered, so on and so forth. So this is helpful, like if you're in a class and you're able to get it all done at once, it's all going to be there. But if you're not, what's going to happen is you're going to teach this lesson, you're going to end it for each class period, and you'll have to restart it again. So you'll get new codes each time, and your information will be kind of split up. But it's not the end of the world. It's, for me, like, I'll do that so I don't have to pay for a membership. But that is Nearpod. Again, there's so much to do. I highly recommend also adding yourself to the school. If you click on school library, type in Fredericktown, you'll find either elementary, middle school, or high school, and then you can share lessons with each other. So that's also a great opportunity. If you have questions, please let me know. I know that was kind of quick and super duper quick, so I'm happy to go over individual things with you, or maybe once you play around with it more, you'll understand. Thank you so much.